Get ready for 6 of the craziest Reddit stories I've found this week. Let's dive into story 1.
My brother chose his wife and her kids over his own family, and now he wants to fix it. I told him it's too late. I don't even know who he is anymore. I'm not playing onto strangers just to make him feel better. I 29F have 2 older brothers, and I want to share my thoughts about my brother James, 34M. About 3 years ago, he met Aria, 33F, and they got married the following year. Aria has 2 kids from her previous marriage, but I'll come back to that later. From the start of their relationship, Aria has been very clear about her boundaries regarding our family. She often talks about how her past marriage was a disaster because her ex-husband was too attached to his mother and how his mom was overly involved in their lives. As a result, she made it clear that she wouldn't allow the same thing to happen with James. I suppose James, being in love and wanting to start a family, went along with all of this, leading to a growing distance between him and us. My parents aren't overbearing, and my mom isn't the stereotypical evil mother-in-law. My other brother's wife has a wonderful relationship with her, which shows that. Honestly, we had hoped for more from James, at least a little defense of us in front of his wife or an effort to maintain ties with the family. When we expressed our concerns about Aria's controlling nature, all we got was a shrug from him, so we decided to step back and let him do his own thing. Since Aria became part of the family, our relationship with them has become really strained and superficial. We only see them for major events like Christmas, Easter, and birthdays, and every interaction feels stiff and formal. They never share anything personal. The conversation is limited to small talk, like "How are you?" and "What's new?" and rarely goes beyond that. A recent example that stands out is when James got a significant promotion. We only learned about it in passing during dinner when he mentioned that his schedule had changed due to his new role. I tried to joke with him about keeping it a secret, but Aria quickly shut it down, explaining that they are a private family and don't disclose financial matters. It was such an odd response since nobody had even brought finances into the conversation. Recently, Aria faced the tragic loss of her sister, and now she's asking my sister-in-law and me to step up as aunts to her children. I expressed my condolences for her loss but clarified that I only consider myself an aunt to my brother's kids, not hers. She believes I'm in the wrong, insisting that we're family, but I feel differently. To me, she's my brother's wife and her kids are his stepchildren. That's as far as it goes. Frankly, I've distanced myself from James too. We are now only related by blood and nothing else. I refuse to adopt a role for people I hardly know. This conversation evidently struck a chord with James, who later confronted me to see if I truly meant what I said. I confirmed that I do. He asked how he could make things better, and I honestly told him I had no idea. How do you mend 3 years of neglecting family due to newcomers in your life? He claims he wants to restore our previous dynamic, but I'm not interested. He can continue building his happy family with his wife and stepkids without me. I'm not here to play the role of an entertainer for them whenever it suits her. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. It's understandable that you're feeling conflicted. While you're not in the wrong, consider the close relationship you once had with your brother. He might be slowly realizing the impact of choosing to distance himself from family since his partner wanted a more private life. Given that dynamic, it makes sense that you wouldn't feel compelled to take in her children as though they were part of your own close family. OP's response. We used to have a good relationship, but right now, I just can't seem to find it in myself to be forgiving. My other sister-in-law once pointed out how easily James seemed to toss us aside for Aria, and I can't help but agree with her. We all have our partners, we've all experienced that honeymoon phase, but we didn't let it overshadow our commitments. Honestly, I'm unsure what she really wants from me. I'm a private person, and my boundaries don't allow me to engage in a family dynamic with people I don't know well. Commenter 2. Ultimately, you should follow your instincts. But out of curiosity, is your reluctance to mend things with your brother due to his treatment of you and your family, or does it stem from his wife's actions and expectations regarding your role as an aunt? If it's the latter, would you consider giving your brother a chance if you established clear boundaries, like agreeing to talk or meet with him only outside of family gatherings when they're not around? Would you also be open to speaking with his wife but clarify that you aren't going to take on an aunt role, such as babysitting? I completely understand if you decide against giving him a second chance, especially if you prefer things as they are now. Just curious where you're coming from. OP's response. I'm against fixing things with my brother because of how he's treated us. His wife is essentially a stranger, and I don't expect anything from strangers. She hasn't shown loyalty to us, she didn't even have a relationship with us, so she owed us nothing. The real issue is my brother. He let her isolate him from us and never made an effort to stand up for us or maintain our relationship. While I understand she might have her own trauma, when he prioritized her over everything, it clearly showed where his loyalties lie. And that's fine, everyone has their own priorities, no matter how reasonable they may seem to others. But you can't come back 3 years later with tears in your eyes pretending to be hurt when you've pushed others away through your own actions.
Story 2. My fiancée spent her bachelorette night in some random guy's hotel room to feel wild and free one last time. She called it cold feet and begged me to forgive her. I called off the wedding on the spot. I, 28M, was set to marry my fiancée, 26F, next month. This past weekend, she had her bachelorette party in Vegas while I kept it low-key with a dinner and drinks with my guys. When she returned on Sunday night, I sensed something was off. She was quiet and avoiding eye contact. Then on Tuesday evening, she broke down and confessed. On their second night, she met a guy at a club and ended up in his hotel room. Although she claimed nothing serious happened, they did fool around, and she spent the night there. I was heartbroken. I couldn't believe she'd do this to us, especially right before our wedding. Her reasoning only made it worse. She said it wasn't about us or any issues we had. She just wanted to feel wild and free one last time before becoming a wife. She needed to know she could still attract other men before settling down. The way she said settling down, as if our marriage was some kind of prison, shattered me. I told her the wedding was off. She immediately began to sob, claiming it was just cold feet and that her guilt showed she really wanted to be with me. She mentioned how many people act out at bachelor and bachelorette parties and insisted I was overreacting. Now her maid of honor won't stop texting me, saying I'm being dramatic and that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. They keep insisting this is typical pre-wedding behavior and that I'm throwing away our future over one night of bad judgment. The deposits are lost and the guests have been informed. Am I in the wrong for standing firm and canceling our wedding? Relevant comments. Commenter 1, she didn't almost cheat, she did cheat. She entertained another guy, she went back to his hotel room, and they did do stuff together and she's trickle-truthing. I guarantee that they actually did sleep together. She can feel guilty all she wants, what she did was still wrong. You have every right to call off the wedding. Commenter 2, emotional cheating, physical cheating, it's all betrayal. And the slow confession just makes it worse. Op deserves honesty and loyalty, not half-truths and excuses right before a marriage. Calling it off is a valid and strong choice. Commenter 3, you deserved much better treatment and deserve a wife that is not going to justify being bored as a reason to seek attention from other men. You did yourself a huge favor by pulling the plug, now move on and live your best life. Love Reddit stories? Hit subscribe and come back daily for more. Story 3.
My boyfriend thought it was funny to look my mom in the eye and say pass the salt, N-word, at dinner, then blamed it on a dare from his bigoted online buddies like that would make it okay. Plus one update. I, 25F, and my boyfriend, 27M, went to my mom's place for dinner. Just to give you a bit of background, we're a black family, and my boyfriend is white. My mom has always treated him well, and I thought he respected her. But during dinner, he decided to pull what he called a prank. Out of the blue, he used the N-word in a joking way, like, with a hard R. Suddenly, the room fell silent. My mom was shocked and hurt, and I felt like I was in a nightmare. My boyfriend then starts laughing, saying, "It's just a joke, I was kidding," as if that would make everything okay. I told him to leave immediately, and after arguing for a bit, he stormed out. I stayed with my mom for the rest of the night, apologizing repeatedly for his behavior. She reassured me that I wasn't responsible for what he did, but I could see how much it affected her. I felt awful, I just couldn't understand why he would do something like that, even as a prank. When I got home, my phone was buzzing with his texts and calls. He was apologizing but also trying to rationalize it, insisting it was just a word and that he didn't mean it that way. He kept begging me not to end our 4-year relationship over a single bad joke. But it wasn't just a joke, it was a clear sign of disrespect toward my mom and, toward me as well. The next morning, I texted him that we were done. I blocked him on everything, but he's been bombarding my friends, trying to get them to convince me to take him back. Some agree with my decision, but others think I should at least hear him out since we've been together for so long. They say I shouldn't throw away years of a good relationship over one mistake. Now I'm second guessing myself. Did I overreact? Is it really worth giving up on 4 years over this? Update: wow, I didn't expect my original post to get so much attention. First, thank you to everyone who commented and sent messages. While some replies were harsh, most were kind and supportive, and I'm really grateful for that. This whole situation has been overwhelming, and reading your thoughts helped me process everything. After taking some time to gather my thoughts, I spoke to my ex this morning one last time. I wanted to understand why he would do something so hurtful when he's never shown this side before. That's when he revealed he's part of a Discord group where members come up with and execute the most offensive, cruel pranks they can imagine. For those of you who suspected the internet influenced him, you were absolutely right. He even mentioned he voted for Trump. They record and share these actions for laughs and clout within the group. I don't buy into their excuses, they seem like just sick and racist individuals, and they encourage each other to keep upping the ante with these pranks. I refuse to believe that what happened was just a prank. Hearing him say those words left me in disbelief. This wasn't the person I thought I knew after 4 years together. He claimed he didn't mean it, that it was just for the group, but honestly, that doesn't justify anything. I'm not accepting that excuse. I don't know what changed in him or why he thought this behavior was acceptable. He's never shown any signs of this kind of mindset before, and it's genuinely unsettling to realize he was capable of such a thing. To clarify, he didn't merely use the N-word, he actually said, "Pass me the salt," N-word, which is so much worse. As for the friends who urged me to give him the benefit of the doubt and not end our relationship, I've distanced myself from them. The fact that they expected me to forgive something so despicable made me question whether they truly grasped the seriousness of the situation or if they even have any respect for me. I don't want that kind of negativity in my life right now. And no, this isn't a joke or an exaggeration, although I wish it were. It's been incredibly difficult to explain this to others, and even more painful to face those who think I should simply move on. My mom has been supportive, and we've tried to distract ourselves from everything by spending time together. My younger brothers, who are 17 and 14, sometimes use that word around my ex, but it's not something we accept in our home. I'm left questioning whether this was truly the man I loved for 4 years or just a facade he created. Right now, I really need some time for myself. I've blocked him and everyone associated with him. I'm relying on my mom and a few close friends who genuinely understand and respect my boundaries. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I know I deserve more than what I've been through.
Story 4.
I refused to wear my niece's DIY bedsheet dress on stage for my big event, and it now means I hate children and happiness. I adore my niece and totally back her creative endeavors. I've even hinted that she could whip me up a dress for my at-home marathon, running errands, lounging, the glamorous life. Honestly, I'm game to sport something she's crafted when the occasion calls for it. I've been proudly rocking the acrylic scarf she crocheted for me for a few years now, and let's just say it's not winning any fashion awards anytime soon. She learns her craft from YouTube and TikTok, so patterns, tailoring, and fabric choices? Yeah, those are not in her repertoire. Those online trends are all about boasting that you made a fabulous outfit from a ratty old thrifted sheet and a pair of shorts collecting dust. Sometimes it looks like a fashion statement, other times it looks like a DIY disaster. And let's not even mention pressing or finishing seams, those seem to just be suggestions. When I've gently nudged her to tidy things up, she insists that her carefree approach is just so much more authentic. Picture this, she practically pleaded with me to wear something she made to an event where I'll be gracing the stage. I tried the gentle decline method, saying, "Hey, I've got a dress being tailored right now." But she countered, "No problem, wear that one somewhere else. You should show off my creation, it'll be a bonding experience." Oh, the dreaded bonding experience. Family gatherings have turned into a bonding boot camp, and I'm mentally exhausted. I had to firmly say, "No, thank you. I prefer my wardrobe to not look like a fabric sale gone wrong." Then, here comes my sister-in-law, chiming in that I'm way too fixated on my looks. Sweetheart, this is related to my career. The last thing I need is to saunter on stage in something that looks like it was thrown together with a tablecloth and a prayer. Plus, being plus-sized means the fashion police are out in full force, judging my every choice. And let's not forget my sister-in-law's routine complaints about my so-called superficiality. I bought myself one designer bag, And she threw a fit like I'd just committed an international crime, declaring, "Stupid. I'd just thrift a bag and shove the rest in it." When I briefly got engaged, she never stopped talking about how I was after a wedding, not a marriage, just because I wanted to choose my own decor and not settle for whatever Marketplace had on sale. Look, my career is my numero uno priority right now. And for my sister-in-law, her kid is clearly the son that everything revolves around. But am I out of line for prioritizing my career over her child's feelings, or has my value assessment officially earned me the supervillain of the family title?
Story 5. My daughter asked my wife why I don't like her. As a man, I'm obviously closer to my boys. My wife thinks that makes me a bad dad, but I'm not sure I agree. Plus one update. I, 38M, have been married to my wife, 34F, for 7 years, and we have 4 kids, our 7-year-old daughter, our 6-year-old son, and 4-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. Recently, my wife and I had a major disagreement that I could use some perspective on. I've always felt a stronger connection to my sons than to my daughters. I'm a guy, and I naturally gravitate towards things that we all enjoy together. I don't really relate to princesses or dolls, so I tend to bond more with my boys. The argument flared up one night after my wife had tucked the kids in. She came in to talk to me about something our daughter had said. Apparently, while getting her ready for bed, my daughter burst into tears, asking why I don't like her. My wife claimed the kids have noticed the difference in how I treat them, and she urged me to stop acting like I dislike our daughters. I insisted I don't hate them, I just feel we don't share the same interests. This made her really upset, and she accused me of being immature. I genuinely don't see it that way. It seems natural for fathers to bond more with their sons. I tried to explain my perspective, but she didn't want to hear it and ended up leaving the room, possibly to sleep in our daughter's bed. Now, I'm wondering if I'm the one in the wrong here. I just want her to understand where I'm coming from. One comment I got was pretty eye-opening. It pointed out that my daughter, at such a young age, has already sensed that I dismiss her feelings and her interests, and that I don't make an effort to find anything in common with her. It made me question whether I'm being insensitive. My response was that I don't see the point in trying to engage in activities that don't interest me. I feel like she can enjoy those things with her mom and sister, and she should pick activities that we both like if she wants to spend time together.
Update: I'm the wife, and I stumbled upon his post when I walked into our room for my charger. He was asleep, but his laptop was wide open on this Reddit thread. Honestly, it's frustrating. I don't even have an account, so I had to create one just to share my side of the story. While many of you are claiming this is fake, I assure you it's not. There are several things my husband conveniently left out. For instance, when our daughter was crying and asking him if he liked her, it was to him, not me. She only came to me when he showed indifference. He's taken our sons on multiple vacations without our daughters, using my money. Our daughters were told it was a boys' trip, no girls allowed. Last Christmas, he refused to attend both of the daddy-daughter dances because he deemed them stupid. I ended up dancing with them instead. He even tried to make our daughters clean up after their brother, insisting it was girls' work. I could go on, but I want to provide more context. My husband works from home, but by that, I really mean he's entirely unemployed. I'm the sole breadwinner in our family. I'm a doctor, and I take full responsibility for the kids. He does nothing. I handle all their sporting events, school activities, and appointments. Since we had kids, he's been disconnected from our daughters. He uses the excuse of being a boy who doesn't like girl stuff. It's astonishing how easy it is to connect with small children. They'll do anything to spend time with their parents. My 7-year-old would run through the mud just to play with her dad for 5 minutes. It's heartbreaking to see how desperately she longs for a bond with him. This might not be crucial, but my daughter actually loves boy stuff. She enjoys fishing with her grandpa and playing video games with her brother. So, the idea that she doesn't like boy stuff is just absurd. It's clear that he simply doesn't care for his daughter. Many might be questioning why I ever married him and why I haven't left yet. To tackle the first question, I was young and naive. I overlooked the warning signs, and here I am now. The truth is, I've delayed the divorce for so long because it's just so complicated and overwhelming. With a mountain of student loan debt, managing the financial burden while raising 4 kids made leaving seem impossible. Some might think I've been selfish for staying, but I've reached my limit. This has pushed me to make a decision. I've spent the night in tears thinking about my daughters, and I realize my sons aren't being treated fairly either. My 6-year-old has seen how their father treats his sisters, and it breaks his heart. He's even offered to give up his vacation spot several times just so one of his sisters could go, but their dad always says no. I won't tolerate this any longer. When he wakes up tomorrow, I'll be telling him to leave my house, the one I own, and he'll be hearing from my lawyer. I'm done with his nonsense. My kids mean everything to me. Tomorrow, I'll take all 4 of them out for an ice cream date while he packs his stuff. No spending limits, they deserve it all. Thanks to everyone who has supported me and shown him the truth. I appreciate you all. Good night.
Story 6.
I told my blind friend she couldn't bring her guide dog to my wedding because of my extreme allergy, and she basically declared war on me and tried to turn everyone against me. Plus one update. I, 28F, am getting married this September, and I find myself in a tough spot involving a good friend of mine. She's blind and relies on her guide dog for assistance. As you can imagine, her dog has access rights wherever she goes. However, I'm facing a challenge because I have 3 chronic illnesses that require me to take 23 pills a day, including dealing with severe asthma and, unfortunately, an extreme allergy to dogs. Normally, when I meet up with her, we meet outdoors, and I take 2 allergy pills. But those pills make me incredibly drowsy, to the point where I'm not allowed to drive and usually end up crashing the moment I get home from our hangouts. Our wedding is going to be small, held in intimate spaces, which complicates things further. I truly feel awful about this situation, but I don't think I can allow her to bring her dog. After discussing it with my fiancé and some friends, I decided to speak with her. I explained my predicament and expressed how much I want her at the wedding, but she would need to come without her dog. I offered solutions, like having 4 mutual friends and a sister ready to assist her, or suggesting that she could bring someone of her choice, or even that I could cover the cost of a professional aide for the day. Importantly, her dog isn't for conditions beyond her visual impairment, but she was upset with my suggestions and accused me of being ableist by implying she could just turn her disability off for the day. I recognize that my request was a lot to ask, and it's a sensitive issue. I told her to reach out if she changed her mind, and I remain firm on my stance. A commenter asked how we became friends given my dog allergy and her reliance on a guide dog. Well, she only got the dog a few years ago. Another commenter wondered if she could manage a day without the dog, which she can, but it's not my place to judge. Fast forward 2 months later, since my last post, I've gotten married. We opted to move up the date because things were good where we were living, and we didn't want to risk cancellations. I took your advice and reached out to my friend again. I reiterated how severe my allergies are and emphasized my desire to truly enjoy my wedding day. I apologized for my previous suggestions and opened the door for her to bring up any ideas that might help her attend. She responded that she still wanted to come, but it still didn't include her dog. She insisted it was either her dog or nothing. While I was disappointed, I knew that would be her stance, so I let her know it wasn't feasible and that she'd be missed at the wedding. We ended up sending out new invitations with a revised date, simply not including her, so technically she wasn't uninvited. Some of our mutual friends, who were part of the wedding, mentioned she'd asked them not to attend out of solidarity. Fortunately, they all found that to be absurd. Our wedding turned out beautiful, and we had an amazing honeymoon in the Flinders Ranges, which I can wholeheartedly recommend. As for my friend, I'm open to reconciling, but she'll need to reach out first. In the end, while things didn't unfold as I hoped, I'm in a good place now, enjoying my life as a married woman.
Story 7.
My mom is convinced the rapture is near, and I'm scared about what happens when September 23rd comes and goes. I stopped calling myself Christian when I was about 12. My upbringing was way too extreme. But I don't really know where else to post this. My mom's a total Facebook junkie, and lately she's been saying Jesus is coming back on September 23rd. She's dead serious about it. She's been fasting to be pure, and she texts me all day long about how the end is near and how she's scared I won't be saved. She's always been into conspiracies, but this is different. She's all in. I see people online buying Bibles, leaving food and notes behind for people left behind. And now my mom wants to give away a bunch of her clothes and furniture. The thing stressing her out the most is her dog, Princess. She's an 8-year-old Chihuahua. Mom keeps saying she can't take her to heaven, and wants to rehome her with someone probably not getting raptured. I told her I'd take Princess, but she keeps saying she wants me to come with her. She's been cleaning like crazy, giving away food, and talking like she doesn't care about tomorrow. It's got me worried. Like, if she really believes the world's ending, what's she gonna do when it doesn't happen? I don't want to trash her faith, but the way she's acting has me nervous. Is anyone else having a problem with this? I don't know what to do. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. These predictions never pan out, but watching someone you love buy into it is heartbreaking. You end up worrying more about what happens after nothing happens. Commenter 2. When the date passes, she'll probably feel lost and embarrassed. Try to be patient, let her talk it out, and remind her she still has people who care about her. That support is more important than telling her I told you so. Commenter 3. Logically, I don't think anything's going down on the 23rd. But a part of me wonders, what if? It's that tiny doubt that makes these predictions so powerful for people.
Thanks for watching. If you love these stories, hit that like button, subscribe, and come back tomorrow for more Reddit drama.